Welcome to this special E3 edition of Game Genies. As always, we are an explicit podcast, so if you have children around, please do something with them. Game Genies. Welcome to Game Genies. My name is Fred. I'm joined by Ryan. Say hello, Ryan.
This is Ryan, and I'm having a good time. I'm gonna follow you and... Nope, that sounds like I'm being a stalker or some shit. Never mind. Forget that.
It's fine. Thank you, Ryan. Game Genies is a dangerously cheesy podcast where we yell at each other so that you don't have to. We use our lifetime's worth of gaming knowledge to give you the insight in today's most interesting games that you might not already have. And if you do have that knowledge, then fuck you. I'm just kidding. We love you.
Holy shit! It's a little aggressive, Fred.
I'm sorry. I'm just feeling it.
I mean, you know me. I'm all about the telling people to go fuck themselves. So
well, E3 has been a stressful week for us, and I had to let it out.
Not for me. I mean, maybe for you. I was taking fucking bubble baths. I fucking took a bubble bath all day. Had mimosas. Had my tablet up on the toilet.
Yeah.
And then just like watch it with bubbles and Lush bath bombs. It was fucking amazing.
And when you were watching the PC conference, were you surprised to see the man in the bathtub there when you were in the bathtub?
I loved it. I was like, holy shit! I was actually watching it. Yeah,
it was
while
like
I was in the
looking
bathtub.
in a mirror, right?
It was. Except I have better hairline. But yes, other than that, for sure. And I mean on my genitalia.
Oh.
Nope. Just kidding. You can cut that, but don't cut it.
I'm sure the hairline on your genitalia is fine.
It's, all natural.
Right.
Why are we talking about this?
You can find us on Twitter at
Game Genies Cast.
And you can find Ryan here on Twitter at West Texas Hell. And you can find me, Fred, at Freddy Sketty. FreddySghetti.
Jesus. Just fucking have a simpler handle.
Well, Freddy Spaghetti was
fine.
taken, so...
Can I, before we get into this E3 mess, because we got a lot to get to. This is a double episode, so curl up with a nice glass of champagne and, hang out with us for a little bit. Or if you're in your car, I hope you're out on a fucking road trip because we got a lot to cover. But before we do, I'm looking over to my left. Let me describe to you. In our game room upstairs, I live with my brother. We have two desktops set up with two separate tables. Or, desks, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And we have a TV mounted above us so we can watch TV or sports or something while we game. Whatever. It's a cool setup. But I'm looking to my left just now as we're starting. I was at work one day last week and my brother was home. And I'm looking and there are some sandals. Looks like underwear and shorts just right below where he would be sitting. And the only reason I can think why that would be sitting there is if he masturbated and was looking at porn right there, was too ashamed of himself to even grab his fucking clothes and just immediately ran to the shower or something.
You think he would have masturbated, shed all of his clothes, and run to the bathroom?
I think he shed all of his clothes, masturbated, and then went to the restroom / shower. I don't know why I said restroom, but maybe he did that too to cry or something. I mean, there's always that feeling. Either way, it's fucking weird. I look over to my left, I just see his clothes sitting there on the ground. Like, why would you have clothes underneath your fucking computer?
All right. Well,
Unless
this is Game Genies. It's a video game podcast where we talk about video games.
I thought you already went through that. You already did your fucking spiel. And you told people to go fuck themselves. I'm just saying it was an interesting observation. The end.
Wow.
Jesus.
Detective Ryan over here.
Yeah. I like to investigate things. Not too much, but a little bit.
So, with E3 well underway, all the conferences are over, and now everyone is on the show floor. For anyone listening right now, it is Tuesday night. We have seen everything we need to see. Nintendo just finished up this morning, and we have gotten all of the reactions, basically, at this point.
I'm pretty pissed off. Well, before we start this, very big story today. The Nintendo Switch announced, Fortnite is going to be available on Switch.
Yay, Nintendo.
Okay. Then we find out I try to go sign into my Epic account, which I have linked. I bought Fortnite before Battle Royale even started. I bought Fortnite, like the OG Fortnite. I forgot what they call it. They call it like something.
It's like Versus the World or Save the World or something.
Yeah, Save the World. I think that's what it's called. Save the World. So STW. So I bought that on the PC. I linked my PlayStation account because it was like, oh, you can link it back and forth, whatever. I did that, and not even thinking about it, I probably played Battle Royale on there 2 or 3 times. I tried to go sign into my Epic account on Switch, and it says, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to sign in on this device because it's been locked from another device. That device would be the fucking PlayStation, because PlayStation,
Ooh.
Sony, exactly, does not want to have...
Fuck you, Sony. We liked you.
Yeah, we liked you a little bit, but I knew you'd come back to fuck me in the ass like you used to back after the PlayStation 2 days. But pretty much, it's saying it's locked out because I've signed into PlayStation. I'm not allowed to log into my Epic account on Switch. I disconnected my Epic account from the PlayStation. I'm still not allowed to. I try to go into my... And I even linked my Nintendo account. On the Epic website, it says I'm disconnected from PlayStation, connected on Nintendo, and when I try to log in on my Switch, it still says, login failed. Your account cannot play on this platform. Please see our help website for more information.
To put it simply, if you have ever logged in your Epic account on PS4, it is now diseased and impossible to play on the Nintendo Switch. There is no other platform that has that issue right now.
It's only PlayStation fucks you.
You're officially tainted if you connect to the PS4.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. It says, please see our help website for more information. Here's where the story gets interesting. So I go there. First of all, I'm on the phone with PlayStation today for like an hour. They don't know what the fuck to tell me. Of course they don't. And I was like, I even told him, like, I know you've been getting this all day. And he's like, oh, actually, I've only had one other call today about Fortnite. That son of a bitch was lying to me. He was a nice guy. He was a nice guy. But that don't fucking cut it when he's walking around telling people he hadn't heard about this fucking mess. So he's like, go to Epic.
It's basically the only thing anyone's talking about right now.
Exactly. So I go to Epic, and I pretty much explained the situation. I'm like, look, I did this, I did that. I disconnected from PlayStation. I want to connect to my Nintendo. I just want to play this fucking thing on Switch with my account to not ruin... Because I understand PlayStation doesn't want to do cross-play. They're assholes for doing that,
and that's
whatever.
Fine.
But cross-fucking progression, and you don't want to do that? Get the fuck out of here! So, I go through this whole spiel of emailing Epic. Epic sends me this pre-typed bullshit. It says, if you're unable to connect to an external account to your Epic account, the most likely scenario is that your external account is already linked to a nameless Epic account. It goes through this entire explanation saying that I have actually never synced anything, and so it's on a nameless account. I go back to them. I respond back, and I say, I've been using a non-nameless account for all these. This solution does not fit my issue. Please advise. They literally send me the same fucking thing. The same thing.
The same thing. All right.
The same thing. So then I go, in all caps, please advise! Don't send me the same thing again. They send me the same fucking thing again.
Of course.
Then about 30 minutes ago, I sent them, unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe!
Let me guess.
These motherfuckers, guess what they did?
They sent you the same thing again.
The same fucking thing again.
Harassment.
Then I just literally, right before we started the cast, I said, I can't. I just can't with you people. I guarantee you I'll go to my... Those sons of bitches, they just sent me the same thing again. They sent me the same thing again.
I don't think they're going to help you with this.
They're fucking with me. Epic and Sony are both pissing me off now.
So, long story short, if you already have an Epic account and you haven't connected to the PlayStation yet, choose wisely. You either have to choose, right now at least, until people make a big enough stink, you're either going to connect to PlayStation 4 or you're going to connect to Nintendo Switch.
Everything else.
Either way, you can connect to PC and Xbox with no issues for no apparent reason. It's only PlayStation that is fucking everyone over at the moment. So
we will leave it at that. We'll get to games. I just want to say one thing real quick. This better be over soon. And the fact that Fortnite's such a popular game, I hope it is over soon.
Yeah. I think with any other game that this might not have been as big of a deal.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to leave it at that.
All right. Finally going to get into the games. Of course, today we cannot cover every game from E3, though between the two of us, we just might. But Ryan and I have put our favorite lists together, and in true Game Genies fashion, we're bringing that all to the table without having shared those lists with each other to begin with. That's always half the fun here.
We're going to be separating each section into the different conferences that were presented to us over the weekend. This first episode, we're going to touch on EA, Xbox, PlayStation, Square Enix, and Devolver Studios. The next episode you're going to be listening to right after this, right?
Yes.
Right, listener?
Yes.
Correct,
yes,
listeners?
genies.
You're going to be fucking continuing to listen? Sorry.
You could always listen into it half today and then half tomorrow.
Don't tell them what to do.
I'm sorry.
But the next episode, which we'll explain on the next episode, is going to be broken down into conferences consisting of Ubisoft, Bethesda, Nintendo, and finally PC Gaming, which was the surprise conference of the week for me.
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I didn't realize it was their 4th year doing it only. And so last year when we watched it, we were like, why is this kind of suck? It's because they were still figuring out their shit. It still wasn't amazing, but it was a good, informative, showed a lot of good games and gameplay.
Plus, I also don't think people were as, like, they didn't have the viewership for PC either.
Yeah, exactly. They're using their own sponsorships through PC Gamer, Oculus, some other developers and stuff like Warframe. So, they're doing their thing. I'm okay with it. I support the PC Gaming show. Anyway, PC gamers need a voice at E3.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, we'll end next episode with that. So getting on to electronic arts, you won't make me fart. Okay.
All right, EA.
Electronic Arts.
Start at the top, Ryan. What do you got?
So I got only 2 games I was really excited about on this press conference, and I'm sorry.
That's fine.
It is what it is. This was the one I was just like, eh. Sea of Solitude is something I'm very excited for. It's a single-player action-adventure game. Obviously it's published by fucking EA. But the developer is Joe May Games. JO-MEI. It's supposed to be in early 2019, if I can fucking speak. I don't know. What I saw was really interesting. You play as like a monstrous version of the character you play, and I guess this world is like turned fucking desolate, and you're trying to find your human self, and it's about the human experience. I'm kind of just saying what I'm going after. But the gameplay looks cool. It looks interesting. The character you play as is like a woman that kind of reminds me of the Dark Link from Ocarina of Time.
Right. She's like completely black, like black.
With red eyes.
Yeah. The idea of this game is that you are lonely, right? You're alone, but it seems to have kind of had a negative effect on you, and there are enemies also who are black. And from what I gather, like the more lonely you are, the more black you are, something like that. Copyright infringement. We're getting sued.
Is that? Can we not do that?
I don't know. We
Fuck
probably
it.
can.
Put
It's
it up
fine.
and. Okay, that was what I immediately thought of. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hope iTunes isn't like, you fucking assholes. You can't play that.
Yeah.
If it was only a second, maybe they're okay with it. Don't tell iTunes we copyright infringed just now. Anyway,
this game is also part of EA's Originals initiative, where they fund an indie studio, and evidently they don't take any profits from the game. Is that right?
I mean, they're already taking enough profits from the people, from the consumers, the gamers. So, no need to take it from the developers.
Right. So then they just give. I think this is an effort to better their image, because EA is known as the big bad corporate company.
Before this year's Sony, yeah, they were.
Yeah. So this game, last year, the game in that spot was A Way Out. This year it is Sea of Solitude. The art style in this game is great. It's just really cool. It's like sort of a realistic style, but also just totally not. It's like it has its own aesthetic. It's very clean looking, while also looking a bit gritty as well. Would you say that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Okay, well, so moving on. I mean, I know we got a lot of fucking.
We have a lot of games to cover.
So go ahead. What's yours? You got? What do you got for me?
Unravel 2 was one. I wasn't a huge fan of the original, but this one, the setting just looks so nice. Like, it's almost photorealistic. And while you play, so for anyone who has never heard of Unraveled, it is a platformer game. And it is partially based on physics. Your character is a kind of, your character is like a yarn.
You're fucking yarn. You're a yarn thing.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. The character is like this yarn guy, and he's kind of wrapped up in himself, and he throws out the piece of yarn, and he can hang from things, and that's kind of how you solve puzzles. But as you
would you say he unravels himself?
I would say that he unravels himself, and as you're going through the world, there are actually things unfolding in the foreground behind
Would you